First week on the funded, I don't really have anything to say before I start, so let's just jump straight into the action. So, to start off the week, I was bearish, my bias was bearish coming into the day, seeing as we broke below this monthly range on NQ and we're almost doing the same on ES with these relative equal lows here being, I guess, the high time frame target. We were respecting an hourly gap with ES 4 hour gap, sorry, with ES coming and filling in this um, new week opening gap and NQ doing the same after market open, that is. So, like I said, I was bearish and I was looking for these um, London lows inside the hourly fair value gap, or at least the top of this fair value gap. And at open, after seeing NQ price rally up, taking out these two swing highs and ES only taking out the first one, we had a bearish SMT, and I entered after a nice inversion of these two stacked imbalances. My original target, like I said, was around this zone, either the top of this fair value gap or these draws on liquidity, being the London lows. But seeing as that was quite the ambitious target, almost 50 points, I started to trail my stop after price had reached the 1 to 2, and I eventually got out at 1.5 basically at the top of this candle right here. So yeah, really nice trade to start off the week, and I'm proud and glad that I took it. Tuesday was a day where I unfortunately took a loss with this trade right here. And as you can see, I basically got wicked out before price ran into my direction. I was bearish coming into the day. Oh, sorry, bullish. I was bullish coming into the day, wanting to see price take at least some of the draws on liquidity before rallying higher. I marked out these two draws, and I guess these were relative equal lows on ES, and I marked out these draws on NQ. Let me get rid of these ones on NQ. So on ES, price came down, took out uh, these uh, New York lows made just at the start of the New York session, New York kill zone, and on NQ it didn't take uh, that low out. Following that, we had a nice rejection candle followed by a strong inversion of this 3 minute gap, and I entered here with my take profit, planning to start trailing my stop loss after price reaching had reached these highs here. I quickly got stopped out though in 3 minutes, 4 minutes as you can see, and I got stopped out by just 4.5 points, which is quite annoying. And yeah, had I not been stopped out here, my stop loss been lower, I guess, but I wouldn't have had it where to place it lower. I would have made up to, let me see where I probably would have exited. If I would have trailed my stop loss at the low of every consecutive candle following price hitting this, I would have exited here at 25 points. And if I were to have entered off of this, I would have had a total of 30 points, which is 1 to 2 risk reward. So yeah, unfortunately, I didn't manage to catch that, but my bias was at least right. I was right in the fact that price wanted to go higher. I just was a little bit early and my timing wasn't the best, like I said. So yeah, an unfortunate loss, but a good one though, nonetheless. On Thursday, I took a trade after not entering any trade on Wednesday due to CPI being released and me being busy. So I took this unfortunate failed trade. My bias was kind of bullish coming into the day, seeing as on ES we were inside this high time frame discount, and we were respecting this uh, hourly gap on NQ. But as you can see, I got stopped out. So let me tell you why I entered. I entered off of this sweep of these London lows and the fill of this 15-minute gap. And at that point, price was still respecting this gap. And I entered after this quite strong 5-minute inversion of this fair value gap. I like I liked the rejection, and also we had this low time frame um, stop run here. But after I entered, price stalled around break even for a while before eventually crashing down and stopping me out, and it continues to go lower even now. But yeah, I do see now that we had these two relative equal highs that we just took out, and we were inside this 5-minute gap. But and maybe that should have been a warning sign for me not to enter. But yeah, I think that the bullish signs were more obvious, seeing as like I said, we were respecting the 1 hour fair value gap, and at the time of my entry, we were still respecting this 4 hour gap, and we had just inversed this bearish 4 hour one. So yeah, the higher time frame to me was pointing towards the bullish side, but unfortunately, that turned against me as like I said, I took this losing trade. So no big deal, but just a bit annoying. On Friday, to finish off the week, I took this wonderful trade actually. So I was kind of bullish coming into the day, seeing as now we were um still respecting this 4 hour gap in the discount, and we were wicking off the OT of this range here. We had just inversed this hourly fair value gap. So the bullish signs were pretty clear, but seeing these two relative equal highs, exactly equal highs actually, I could have seen myself take a short from a sweep of this, which would have ended up playing out as you can see. So in the end, that didn't happen, or that it did happen, but before that, I managed to enter this long trade here where price came down, filled the hourly fair value gap and respected it, while also taking out several low resistance liquidity here with these 4 lows, or 5 actually, and making an SMT divergence with ES in the process, which did not take any of these lows out. So I entered after an inversion of this fair value gap, a V-shaped inversion, really strong one, and my target was originally here at these relative equal highs, but I started trailing my stop loss at the low of every other candle, and in the end I got out here at the low of this one. So yeah, 2.8 risk reward trade, really good, and it's a really nice way to end of the week. So to end off the first week on the funded account, I ended up taking 4 trades in total, 2 wins and 2 losses. On Wednesday, I didn't take any trade due to CPI being released and me being occupied with other things. So yeah, like I said, 2 wins, 2 losses. Ended up finishing the week with around $300 in profit, 270 to be exact. And yeah, I'd say that all 4 trades were good and justified. Maybe you could make an argument that I shouldn't have taken the one on Thursday, and I can definitely see that, but I'm not that mad about it, and I still think it was justified enough. But yeah, maybe that's a small thing that maybe I should work on maybe. And yeah, I guess I'll see when the time comes how I'll manage uh, another trade like that. But yeah, overall, the week ended off pretty good. I'm proud of how I managed my risk and the trades I took, and I hope that I can continue with this performance or maybe even a better run in the following weeks.